Hello, welcome to the 2019 Garden in a Box growing season. My name is Maria and I coordinate the program here at the Minnesota State Horticultural Society. This is our first educational video for the season, in which we will continue to offer tips and tricks as you progress throughout the program. Today, we will learn how to start your garden in a box. Step 1. Begin by unrolling your garden circle raised bed. This part should be very easy and requires no tools to set up. Wrapped around the sustainable mesh fabric is a flexible galvanized steel. There are 2 steel hooks at either ends of the circle. Simply hook them together. Once your raised bed is set up, you will see it may not be a perfect circle, but don't worry. As soon as you begin to add your 6 bags of soil and 4 bags of compost from our vendor Creekside Soils, you will see the garden in a box becomes much more stable. We do ask that you use caution while handling soil. It is very heavy and dense, yet a crucial ingredient. It's loaded with beneficial nutrients for our plants. However, it is important to bend with the knees and squat when handling the 40-pound bags. Please also be sure to wear gloves while doing so. Even though we are working with organic and natural materials, we should always wear gloves to avoid any allergic reactions, bodily sensitivities, or plant breakage. Now that your garden in a box is full of a healthy mix of soil and compost, we are on to step 2. In this video, you'll see a helpful first planting trick by tearing open one of Sustain's compost tea bags and planting it directly with a Roma tomato plant. This trick can be used with most of your plant start sets, with the exception of carrots, onions, kale, and supplemental seeds. Please make sure you are wearing gloves throughout the program when handling fertilizer. As you can see, the Roma tomato was placed in the center or near the center of the garden circle to allow for proper growing space. These girls here from last season at Brimhall Elementary are doing a fabulous job at their first planting. You can see the Sustain compost tea bags being used with larger plants like the tomato, cucumber, and peppers growing in the center, and then marigolds, onions, basil, and other herbs going around the perimeter, as they will not need as much growing space. Our only tip in this scenario would be to plant certain plants like strawberries into the ground, as these are actually perennials and act like ground cover, and they need a lot of space to spread outwards. One of the funnest parts of the Garden in a Box program is to see how participants use an array of creative and diverse planting methods. As you can see in these photos, our participants are using an assortment of styles. One of my personal favorites is when people take 3 sticks or stakes and make a tripod setup to allow green bean seeds and pea seeds to grow upwards and vine. We encourage participants to have fun while planting, but there are some considerations to be taken. We all do it. Most gardeners struggle to find a balance with planting and spacing. We often underestimate how much the plant needs and how much room it needs to grow, and therefore we're amazed by how much they've actually grown throughout the season. As a general rule, we recommend going with spacing requirements listed on plant tags or seed packets, or following a 6-inch radius or circle of space around each plant. In these photos, you can see a participant planting seeds with proper 3 inches apart, as well as thinning out carrot seedlings so that they can actually have space to become real carrots. Based on a few plant starts and seed options we provide through the program, there are only some we recommend to plant inside the box if there's enough space. These options would be things like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, marigolds. They're a great pest deterrent. Onions, herb types, eggplant, carrot, kale, broccoli, spinach, arugula, lettuce, peas, and green beans. Plants such as corn, zucchini, squash, pumpkins, gourds, strawberries, and other flowers we recommend to be planted outside of the garden in a box, because these plants have a potential to become quite large. Don't forget to always keep plants hydrated and be sure to give an ample amount of water after first planting. We are so glad to have you as participants of our program this season and hope you learn to love the therapy of gardening as much as we do. There are a few of our partners I'd like to highlight, including the University of Minnesota Extension, which offers great articles and resources for how to start your garden and how to keep up great practices. We'd also like to point out the University of Minnesota Master Gardeners, who are also valuable members of our program and help a lot with site visits during the season. Please go to our Garden in a Box webpage, which is at northerngardener.org, and you can go there to find more videos throughout the season and tips and tricks. Most importantly, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Wagner's Greenhouses for donating all of our program plant starts, which they actually grow from seed for us. And on that note, we wish you a happy gardening season. Keep an eye out for our next video, which will show you helpful tips and tricks on addressing creative solutions in ways to keep rodents and other pests out of your garden. As always, don't hesitate to reach out should you have any questions. We are here to support your community in your own unique gardening journey. Thank you.